Hi, welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook, my desk where the creativity is happening. So people have kind of asked me how I do my color work on my cardigans, and so I thought I would give a little rundown about how I fit my graphs to work for the project I'm working on. In my case, I do a lot of cardigans or sweaters. Well, not a lot. I've actually only been doing two, but I plan to do more, and it's just been a question people have asked. Since I tend to work with, I do color work in larger or heavier weights for hats and things, but with the cardigans, I like to get as big a detailed graphic as possible. So my first one was just this lettering one that says Free Run Beyond Journey's End, and the rest of it was just kind of working with lace and other things. But this was my first dabble into it, and right now it's only in vest form. I still need to attach the sleeves, but a lot of people have been asking about this graph of Free Run worked in 2-weight yarn. And so I was going to go over how I go about constructing my pieces. And so for garments, I give myself a swatch, and then I see what I either I usually take a existing piece of what's the word for it? Clothing I already have, like a hoodie or a cardigan, and see what are the measurements there, and I base it off of that. So this one was based off an existing cardigan that I measured out to see what was going to be the inch and how many of these stitches were going to be an inch by inch. So that gives me a basis to do the calculations. So the example today is going to be this grid I made. I'll have a different video for how to make a grid, but this is the grid I'm going to have for a Pooh Bear sweater I'm working on. And so I kind of just wanted to give you the full look at it. And if we zoom in closer, that's maybe a little too close. So the height of it is going to be 176 rows, and the width is 105. And so I actually had it larger than this, and I tried to shrink it down a little more for how I wanted it sized on my piece. So that's something to consider when you're making a graph, but we're not going to go over that right now. So I know for the yarn I'm using, width-wise, I fit 8 stitches on an inch. So I'm going to divide the total number of stitches across by 8 to know how that's going to fit. And this one I'm planning, I think, to put it on the back of my sweater, so I wanted to make sure it didn't cross over into the sides of my sweater. So this is going to work fine. And same, it's about 11, almost 12 rows for an inch up on the sweater. So I would divide the total rows by, I chose to do 11. And so I'm going to show you kind of how I worked on this piece in particular. So you're going to want to pick the colors for your grid. So you could do just 2 tones. So you could do, like, if you're doing like almost black and white, or like I did with the lettering, it was just one color. But in this case, I'm going very as detailed as I can with many different colors. And so you'll see here, I like to use the 2-weight yarn, either Twister or Friends wheels for my cardigans here. They work out really well, very nice fine yarn, half cotton, half acrylic. And so I pulled up, you can pull up in Stitch Fiddle the yarns that exist. So I was able to pull in these colors into this grid, but unfortunately on my screen it doesn't translate to the same thing, but it just gave me a bit of an idea. And so I had to figure out and limit how many colors I was going to have. So you see here, I've already been working on the ribbing for this sweater. I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And so you'll see here kind of the number of colors I have. I have 3 greens, 2 blues, 2 browns, and then the main body is going to be this cream. And I think that's really it. I could have pulled in one more brown, but I decided to go against it because I have too much going on as is. I'm potentially going to be pulling in the cream into the grid a little bit where I would normally want white. Like Pooh Bear is going to be just the cream, and Christopher Robin's skin is just going to be the cream. Just trying to make it look like a watercolor-esque look to it. And so I'm going to zoom in here, go down. I'm going to center this a little bit down at the bottom. I'm going to set this aside and bring back in the work I've already done. So what I've done, since know my measurements and I know where the grid's going to sit, and I want it on the back of the sweater, I worked up the ribbing and I worked up to the point where I'm about ready to introduce the grid. So I'm introducing it fairly low down. And so from here, I took, for the garment itself, I measured I think it was, what was my measurements? I think 37 around my hips, which is kind of where I want this to sit. And then um, I times that by 8 to know how many stitches I needed around, and that's kind of all I did. And unfortunately, I don't have any needle size smaller than a 2, so I did 2 with the ribbing and the body. That's just how it's going to have to be. And so now that I've worked up the ribbing and I worked up the stitches again, 37 times 8 was my number. I don't know what that came to. And then I divide that number by 2 to give me my 2 sides. So I know what's going to be my front and what's going to be my back. I'm doing a fairly simple construction for this. And so now I need to know within the 1/2 where I'm going to place my grid. And so let's see. Okay, I had to do some quick calculations. So I double checked, and my half of my sweater is 148 stitches. And so since the grid is 105, I deducted that to give me 43. So that's kind of the excess I need on either side. And when I divide the 43 by 2, I came up with 21.5. So I'm just going to do 20 on one side and 21 on the other. Since this kind of is a little bit wiggly of a grid, it's not going to matter that much, and I don't mind. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to work my first 20 stitches in the regular cream before I consider introducing the grid. And this grid has is just introducing the 2 brown colors at first for the bridge, and it's going to have cream going for quite a ways before we reach any it's only by, I think, 52 stitch is the first introduction of color. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so here I am. I'm 1 stitch away from when I'm going to introduce the new color, and I like when it's a fresh color that isn't attached anywhere to secure it in the stitch or 2 before I reach its actual introduction. So I'm going to place it over the yarn here, work my knit over it, and then in the next stitch I'm going to drape the tail over just to secure it as well, and then I'm going to pick up that new color. I'm going to just make sure everything's nice and tight and introduce into, oh, I'm sorry, I went off camera, introduce into that new stitch. Now for the grid, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cream stitches to go. And so I'm going to stitch 1, 2. I'm going to catch the float on 3. I have a, well, no, I don't have a tutorial for that. Maybe I need to do a little more in depth on how to do color work in this way. But so I have 5 stitches here. And then on the next stitch, let me double check that it is indeed 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. And then we're going to pick up and introduce the next color. And I'm just going to be working the grid as I go. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I forgot I need to carry my creams. I'm going to go back a little bit so my floats aren't too long. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me double check. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I need 1 more. I'm going to catch my yarn at that one. And then, oh, here I'm introducing yet another color, my second brown. I love that Hobby gives these little tags to help pull the yarn out. So I'm going to drape it so I secure it as I work that last stitch. Let me double check. 2, 4, 6, 7, yes. 8. Drop that one. I'm going to drape the tail to secure it. Pick up the new color. It's just 1 stitch. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drape over the cream and pick up the brown, which I need to do 5 stitches of. So 1, 2, 3, and if I look at the grid, I'm not going to need the brown, so I'm not going to carry the brown, I'm just going to carry the cream. 3, catch my float, 4, 5, drop the brown color, whoops, pick up the cream, and then the rest of this grid doesn't have any more extra colors introduced, so I'm just going to carry the cream without carrying the brown. And so I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to keep working up my grid as I have it laid out here all the way until I have it on the back. And I'm thinking for this sweater, I'm going to duplicate stitch maybe on the front some text before working this complicated grid. That's how I do it. I calculate how many inches I need, how many stitches in my swatch fit into that inch, both up and down, and that will inform me how big the graph needs to be for the placement I want it in. So you'll measure out maybe on your cardigan or your project how big it needs to fill out or where would it be placed. And then, like I said, and you can see here what I did. I forgot to say, I couldn't find any more stitch markers, so I just used this one to show that this is where my grid is starting, and I'll maybe do that on the other side. I don't think it's entirely necessary. I just thought it was going to be helpful for visualization. But that's really it. If you have any questions or if I need to go into more detail about anything, let me know. I'll do a tutorial about how to make a grid in Stitch Fiddle. But yeah, that's kind of it. Okay, and so I thought I would show you a bit when it looks a little more done. I'm not going to be able to show the entire garment because this is going to take me a while to do. But if you see, I'm up to this point, so I've done basically the entire bottom of the bridge and working into Pooh Bear's legs. And so we got all of that left to do. And so if I bring you down here, you can see this is what it's looking like. I decided, if you see on the back here where I was carrying both the cream and 2 brown colors, I decided just to do the main bridge color, and I'll decide if I duplicate stitch the brown, the darker brown into here if I like it, or I was already worrying I don't like this and I might duplicate stitch over it the lighter brown. And then you see his little feet. And so if you see where this is my what I put in for the start of the graph, these are my 2 sides of my sweater. It's curling in a little bit, so the top is a little hard to show at this length. But so you see, for a simple garment like this, it's just a matter of getting your measurements and equating them to your swatch that you do. So you kind of need to get, if you're doing it in inches or millimeters, whatever you'd like to do, match it to your stitch, preferably if it's already blocked or steamed, so you know how it's going to stretch and settle. And then you can know how to place your graph and how big you want to make your graph. So you can see how this is going to be centered on the back, I think, unless I decide if it turns out, I'm wondering if it's turning out a little smaller than I expect, but I have not blocked it, so we shall see. If it turns out smaller, it may be a front piece, I don't know. But I'm leaving that option for it. And so on the back, right now, I'm just working it up in cream. So it's quite nice that I work my graph and then the rest is nice and easy. Also, for something like this, opposed to what I do when I do a cardigan, which goes back and forth, the color starts here and I carry it over to here and then go to the front panel, come back, and then work on the back again, like with my free ring cardigan. You'd pick up the color again. In this case, I'm not carrying the color all the way around. I think that would be silly. So I cut it, knot it, and then I weave it in a little bit here. And I'm trying to keep it as loose as possible so that any of this puckering I can adjust with some blocking. And then I attach it here again. So here you see it's a little wonky, but I'll fix that. But that's how I'm working this. Since I haven't done it in a sweater form before, I usually go back and forth. So you can usually just pick up your colors. So I would say that's a little easier if you don't like doing all this cutting. And if you're hoping like, oh, if you want to unravel it, you're not going to have all these little strips. And I just carry the cream through. I may not do it when I get to more this part. I'm going to decide that, but I thought I would give you a little visualization of how it looks working up, but I'm not going to be able to show you the final piece. Maybe I'll change out the thumbnail later to give you an idea, but this is where I'm at, and I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions for specific garments, for a different project, if there's anything in particular you want to learn about designing your own graphs and uh, own projects related to a graph, whether it be a garment or something else.